Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Chase, and welcome to my review of Halloween Kills. It is the month of October. It is spooky season, so let's review some more spooktastic stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let's dive right into it. Halloween Kills is the second movie in the saga of this kind of like reincarnated version of this story. You know, we had the first one in 2018. I was kind of mixed on it, so I didn't know what to expect going into this. But I was excited to see where Halloween Kills could go and if I would be excited for Halloween Ends. But it is the second film in the franchise, and it starts out with Michael getting out of the burning house. We see him left at the in the basement of the first one. He escapes and he's on a revenge path. He kills everyone left and right, front and center. There's so much blood in this one, so many kills, and this one really kind of focuses on the people of Haddonfield as they kind of take a stand, group up and say enough is enough. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Which that part was too comical for me, but anyways, they group up and they try to take down Michael Myers once and for all. But is he dead? Really? Is he? Is he? No, he's not. So, because we have Halloween Ends coming, so that's not going to happen. But how far can they take it, and will they get close to killing him? That's the question. And this one also focuses on a lot of flashback scenes from the night in 1978. We see some really impressive practical effect work and production design that I was kind of floored by. That was one of my favorite parts about this one. But a lot of flashbacks pertaining to the night of the first film in 1978, and just following Michael past the end point in the first one and where he went after that. So, and the cops involved and stuff. As you can tell from me just kind of sighing through that description, I think I am tired of these movies. As someone on Twitter said, and I will not take credit for this, but when I saw it, I was like, I totally agree with that. Someone was like, hot take, after the first Halloween, there should have never been a franchise and there should have never been any sequels. I kind of agree now. I think I'm just exhausted of this franchise, and I'm going to see Halloween Ends because I'm a completist and I need to see where this goes. I need to see what happens. But for me, Halloween Kills, I have the same reaction as I did to the first one. Some cool stuff for sure. And some neat kills if that's why you watch these movies. But other than that, I have no desire to watch this ever again. It's just, it's that kind of numb feeling I got from the first one. It's like, well, I get it. He's evil. He never dies. Killing. And it's just like, I don't know. So, I feel the same way about this one as I did with the first one. Just kind of like so. But let me talk about some of the positives that I really enjoyed about it. Like I said, the flashback scenes, all done really, really well. I love the color grading on it. I love the way it's lit. It's very haunting, and just it really feels like a nightmare type of situation, and that makes sense because Michael Myers is walking around and no one knows where he's at. So that looming threat of terror that's always over these cops' shoulders, like that was cool. I love the atmospheric nature of those flashback scenes. The production design was really nice, and then the practical effects of a certain character, Dr. Loomis, that pops up. Like it looked like a CGI version of Donald Pleasance. I was kind of floored by when I saw the behind the scenes and it was practical effects and makeup and on a specific actor's face. That blew my mind. That was amazing. And they really nailed the look of like Michael and his original costume and mask, like all that. I really enjoy that, and it added a lot more substance to these characters that we're following. So it's not just a continuation of the first one. It's the same night in Haddonfield. We got a little bit of variety. We got to go back a little bit and see where these officers were at in their headspace and like how they were going to take them down and like why this still haunts them to this day. Like all that stuff. Great. Love the flashback stuff. The other thing I really enjoyed was the main theme of Halloween Kills. The original theme. Dun, 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 and then the bass comes in. Boom, boom. Did I tell you guys I'm like a human instrument? No, so Yeah, I really enjoyed 2018's theme. You know, adding like a lot more body to it and a lot more kind of just a bass forward type of gong like approach, like boom. Once again, human instrument. Hope you guys are enjoying these noises. But yeah, 2018 added body to it. So I was curious to know how Halloween Kills would be. Believe it or not, after what is this, like 12 movies, 11 movies, Halloween Kills has my favorite main theme. It is amazing. So it's like it's the traditional one that you hear from 1978. It's got the body of 2018's, but then John Carpenter adds choir effects, and it's absolutely creepy, and it makes sense for maybe like some of the themes in the movie with this is not a man, he's an immortal being, he could be something otherworldly, and like having the choir effect and sounding like angels a little bit, you know that is absolutely creepy, knowing like what it's attached to and like the face of the movie. And so I love the main theme. It is my favorite one of this franchise, and I've listened to it over and over and over again in my car. I absolutely loved it. Funny story, I went to go pick up some dinner for me and my wife, and I had it playing, and when I went through the drive-thru, I rolled down my window, it was playing a little bit, and I'm sure they thought I was like a sociopath or something, or a psycho. They're just like, why is this guy blasting the Halloween theme song at the drive-thru? It's kind of weird, but I forgot to turn it down, so I was just like, I was probably judged that night. It is what it is, but absolutely love the theme. It adds such a different element to the face of the franchise, which is Michael Myers, and adding that choir effect. Never would have thought to do that. But it's haunting, it's creepy, it's unnerving, and it still gets you into like that mode where you're like, every time when you hear that music, you're like, okay, where is he at? So it does add that element of terror as well, of Michael Myers being a stalker and like going throughout the neighborhood. So it works, and so it's amazing. I love it so much. This is a gory film. I am not one to be a prude on violence or blood or guts or anything, but this is a gnarly movie, and it gets kind of exhausting. And so when you're watching it, you're just like, this isn't even like enjoyable anymore. And like, I know people go see these movies for the kills and the thrill and the haunt of that. It did nothing for me, and I'm just like, okay. And even one of them was like super sad considering the circumstance, but yeah, it's just like they turned it up to an 11 with the gore and the violence in this one. So I'm wondering if they're going to take it even more to an extreme with the third one. So this one is a very, very... So this is a very, very gory film. I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. If that's not really your bag, this is definitely the goriest one in the franchise from what I can recall. It is absolutely insanity with some of the kills that happen. And especially like it takes like a long time for Michael to kill them. So like the pain and the suffering is even worse, and blood's just everywhere. So I just want to give you guys a warning that this is the bloodiest one in the franchise, but maybe that entices you to see it more. The story of focusing, on the Haddonfield residents definitely has some merit. Like I said, really kind of playing into people that have been scarred by the first night of Michael Myers, and like focusing on like this demon that follows them throughout their entire life, and they can't really shake it, and like you have to kind of push through and like not let it take a hold of you, like all that stuff. Like that's great. It's a different take on the story, and you're focusing more on them than Laurie Strode and her family. I like that. I just didn't like, I guess, the gullible sensibility of the crowd, and I don't know. And I get like there's commentary there, like people are sheep, people will believe anything, but it was done in such a way where it felt more comical, like a darkly comedic approach to it. And I don't know if that works for the tone that they're setting for the rest of the film. And that's like the majority of your story. So I'm just personally not a fan of like the mob scenes or just the mob mentality and stuff, because it plays off more like comedy. And then when a certain tragedy happens to a character, it it takes a 180 really quick, and then it goes back to the movie, and it's just like, oh, okay. So, yeah, I think tonal shifting might be a problem for this one, and they might have not intentionally done that as a comedic thing. Just for me, that's what it felt like. So that is something that really bothered me, and I think just really not caring about anyone's situations. Um, you know, with the people that he's killing, or like the Strodes, and like I said, some of the residents I cared about their backstory a little bit, but I don't really care about any of the deaths. So like the I guess the suspense is just sucked out of the room, and like I don't feel for anyone's terror. It's just kind of like, oh, this is just another kill. Like Michael's got to do his thing, moving on, and he's got purpose for every single kill. But it's just like, I don't know. Once again, kind of just exhausted by it, and maybe that's why I'm just kind of exhausted with this franchise. But yeah, I just whatever. And then the end of the film, I just so much stupidity. I get that this is going to be a little like you have to suspend your disbelief. Like this man is an immortal being. Like he's evil. He's guy dies. You know, like I get all that. I get all the whatever. But they were so close to doing it, and the fact that they didn't with like as many people and like weapons that they had, I would have like chopped this man's head off. Like I would have done something to the extreme to make sure that Michael never comes back, and they never do that, and it was frustrating. And then, of course, Michael's still out there. Halloween ends. Here we go next year. And guess what? I'm a sucker. I'm going to watch it. But, yeah, I thought the end of the film was just, once again, like leading up to that climax. And it was so underwhelming that once the credits started rolling, I was like, oh, I think I'm done with this. That's okay if people like it, but I'm done with it. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just one of those things to where I think some of the positive aspects about this film does not even matter because just so much about it I just didn't care for. Yeah. So I'll be seeing Halloween Ends like a sucker. But yeah, I'm curious to know how they're going to end it. And I'll be curious to know if they take a different approach because they're supposed to jump ahead in time by like 2 or 3 years. That's cool. Like I'm already down for that. If you give me that premise, I will give you a third chance for this franchise, and hopefully it does something that is completely unexpected, still has some essence of Halloween, but does something different to where it makes sense for the story. It wraps it up in a nice way, and it really just has a different approach to what we've already seen in the past. Because it's just, I think, repeating the same cycle over and over again. That's why I'm exhausted of the franchise. So I'm hoping Halloween Ends does something different. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let me know down below what you thought of Halloween Kills, whether you loved it, hated it, or whatever. Like I said, I love the main theme of it, and the music in this one was actually like awesome. And I think the main theme is the best of the franchise. So it's got that one going for it. So let me know down below what you thought of Halloween Kills. But that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.